And we're also bringing into the conversation Alex Vitale, who is a sociologist. He is a professor of sociology and coordinator of the Policing and Social Justice Project at Brooklyn College and the CUNY Graduate Center, and a visiting professor at London South Bank University. And he's the author of City of Disorder: How the Quality of Life Campaign Transformed New York Politics, and The End of Policing.
Thanks, Katie. Nice to be here.
You, of course, wrote a book, The End of Policing. And what is that? What does that even mean, abolition, in this context?
Right. So, abolition doesn't mean that there's some magical switch somewhere that if we just wanted to, we could just turn off all police and then figure out what comes next, right? This is about a long-term process of social transformation. And it begins by campaigns that are designed to reduce the power and authority of law enforcement and replace it with better alternatives. So we've seen over the last few years, obviously, a huge amount of mobilization around this issue in terms of local policing, but we could also apply this to federal policing. I wrote a piece a few years ago for The Nation about abolishing the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Administration. It's basically, they don't serve any positive social function. They're not saving any lives. They're not preventing anyone from experiencing harm. They're enforcing drug prohibition in a way that's deeply harmful, and that agency should just be eliminated. And similarly, we should look at the functions of the FBI. So in a piece that I wrote for Truth Out the other day, after Marjorie Taylor Greene said defund the FBI, somehow I don't think this is what was bothering her that caused her to want to say that.
Right.
Let's look at what the FBI really does. Political policing, these kinds of trumped up war on terror investigations, enforcing the Patriot Act, but also they play a major role in enforcing the war on drugs, in enforcing a war on sex workers, enforcing a war on young people accused of being in gangs, being involved in violence. And all of this is not only ineffective, but actually counterproductive. And so instead of, falling into this liberal trap of, well, they're going after Trump, so, we need them. We need to instead be pointing out, the deep history of harm at the center of the FBI and the fact that we don't need them to produce public safety.